hey there, and welcome back to
the Drunken Library.
Today we have our May wrap-up / June TBR jar pick, even though we're like a million years behind on that.
It's fine. We're going to keep picking from the jar, and then we'll just
and
know
one
how
day
far
we'll find
we
one
are.
that we're like, oh, we'll do that. Yeah, whatever. Fuck it.
It'll happen
whatever
before the end of the year.
We'll read them eventually.
Somehow.
It's fine.
It's a thing that I'm going to drink.
But despite the fact that we're like extraordinarily behind on the TBR, I had a really, really good reading month in May.
I didn't. But I have a pretty legitimate excuse.
Yeah. So I guess I'll start with some stuff. We want to start with the one that you did finish that I also read. Okay. We read Jurassic Park.
Yep.
By Michael Crichton. My copy's much uglier than Amber's.
Mine's pretty fucking cool.
I'm real bitter about how ugly this book is.
I posted a thing about...
and I think it was actually in the hall where I bought this too, where I was just like, this is so ugly.
Yeah.
It's orange and... it's whatever.
As soon as she got it, she was just like, who the fuck thinks? Like, oh yeah, orange and silver, those go together.
Classy fucking color combo. Anyway,
that shit.
We buddy read this with Megan and Sue at the restricted section, as well as Erica over at Perks of Books. And that was really fun. We hadn't done a buddy read before, and it was a lot of fun. We all like talked about it as we were going and kind of got an interesting perspective on it, and spent a lot of time ranting about the like really crappy dialogue in this because it's not good, but it was a fun story.
And how terrible a couple of characters were.
Oh god, they were so awful. But yeah, but that was a lot of fun reading with you guys. It's great.
We like it.
So that's the first one I finished, and that's the
only one that I actually finished. I did read other things, but I haven't actually finished anything in May.
Sometimes you just don't finish a book. It's fine. Next one I have. I'm going to actually do the rest of them probably in order that I read them. That one was not in order. Whatever. Fuck it. The first book that I read this month was actually an ebook, but I read The Wonderful Wizard of Oz by L. Frank Baum. The first Wizard of Oz book. I've been trying to work my way through the whole collection because I am me.
If you've ever watched a single video of ours ever, the entire existence of our channel.
You know how I feel about Oz, and you've probably seen at least one video where Amber tried to show everyone my tattoo.
Yeah.
Not always successfully.
Which tattoo?
It's this one. You can't see it because that's the inside of my arm. There we go.
Hi.
But Amber's always like, look, it's here every time we talk about Oz. It makes me laugh.
My only literary tattoo is in a semi-awkward situation.
I have 2 literary tattoos.
I only have one literary tattoo, and it's
like all
I don't
sexy. If she were to show it to you, it would probably be awkward.
It would be a little awkward, just a bit.
So that was the first book I read this month. That was an ebook, like I said, so I don't have one to actually show you. Not that it really matters. Next one I read was Pegasus in Flight by Anne McCaffrey. This is the second book in that Talents sci-fi series that my boyfriend bought me for Christmas this year. I put the first one in a wrap-up last month. This one's got also some excellent, like, late 80s, early 90s cover art. There's glare coming off it because this is an old library edition because he bought stuff for me used. And funny story about this book. I don't know if I told you this. I was reading this, and the whole time I was reading it, it was, like, in my purse, and I was carrying it around with me, and every time I walked into any store, the fucking alarm was going off.
You didn't know what it was.
And I didn't know what it was. I was just like, what do I have in my purse? Like, what? And then one day I, like, ran to Walgreens during my shift at work, and I had just, like, set this at my desk, and I went and I was like, oh, no one, son of a bitch! So, that's a thing that happened to me. Unimportant, but still funny. Next thing I finished was the first book in the Scott Pilgrim graphic novel series. This one is Scott Pilgrim's Precious Little Life, Volume 1 by Brian Lee O'Malley. These are really cool. They're, like I said, there was a movie with Michael Cera several years ago now. The books, as per usual, are better. There you have it. So I read that in, like, some time in between to kind of, like, cleanse my palate between other books. That was good.
Face cleansed its palate.
I cleanse my face, usually.
Yep.
Alright, next thing I read was Me Before You by Jojo Moyes. I talked about this a little bit in the haul. I really liked this. It made me cry like a baby, because reasons.
Oh, is that why?
Because reasons.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Those things.
The movie just came out, so I'll probably see that eventually, but I enjoyed the book. I know there's a lot of kind of controversy around it because of some of the subject matter, but if you take it as just like a story and don't try to interpret too much, I think you can appreciate it for what it is. And then the next thing I read was the second Scott Pilgrim, which is Scott Pilgrim versus the World, which is actually what they called the movie with Michael Cera, even though it's only the name of one of the books. I'm enjoying the series so far. I've still got 4 more of them to read. Next thing I read was Snuff by Chuck Palahniuk. It's about porn, so that's really all you need to know. And it's also a Chuck Palahniuk book, so if you're familiar with him at all, it's got some fucked up shit going on in it. But I enjoyed it more than I expected to. I kind of expected that one to be like, eh. But I actually really liked it a lot. For once, I thought he ended something relatively well. I like his books, but I feel like he's not great at ending them.
I've heard that. I've heard that before I even met you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one, I thought the ending actually fit the story pretty well, so that's cool. And then the last thing that I read, well, I reread this one, was the second book in the series of Unfortunate Events, which is The Reptile Room by Lemony Snicket. I listened to part of this on audiobook, because Tim Curry. But I reread it, and I've just kind of been reworking my way through the series, because I just got the last 3 books, so I want to read those, and I want to be, like, back up to date on what was all going on before that. Makes sense?
I definitely want to borrow those from you and read them.
Well, they're there.
Right on.
Alright, and that's what I read in May.
So, the reason that I didn't get a whole lot of reading done this month is because I was procrastinating a bit on designing a poster for my sister-in-law's fundraiser to raise money for the Walk MS that is taking place in Waukesha, Wisconsin on September 18th, 2016, this year. So she is leading a team, and basically it's all nerdy type stuff, and we're trying to raise money, and she's kicking... So she's kicking ass, getting this all organized, and she asked me to design the poster for the fundraiser, and I was terribly overwhelmed and freaking out about it, and so I kept putting it off, but every time I tried to read anything, I was just like, no, I should work on the poster, and then I wouldn't do anything at all, and I'd watch Netflix, but,
like you do.
Yeah, but, I did end up finishing the poster, and I got it to her recently, and it's all finished, and so we will, it looks
There'll
like...
be an image somewhere, and that's what it looks like. Yay.
like that.
Yeah, you have it.
Yeah.
And so that's the poster that Amber designed for the event, which is cool. So if you're in the Milwaukee area
and you want to go, or if you're not in the Milwaukee area but you want to donate, I can get the link, and we can stick that down below for donating to the page for the cause.
That's cool too.
Yeah, no worries.
But it's a super worthy cause, and it's like a really cool event idea, so I like it. Alright, next thing we have to do in this video is choose from the TBR jar, and it's my turn, and I always choose the worst things.
How many terrible things do we have left, though, really?
All of them.
No.
Okay. We have read a 2016 debut novel. That's pretty open-ended, so we just need to pick something. I guess theoretically we could read 2 different things.
Yeah. Shit.
If we really wanted to. But we'll figure out what that's going to be sometime in
Hopefully
the future.
Soonish,
maybe. We're really bad at this, guys.
We're bad at deadlines and things.
Hashtag bad YouTubers. But that's
Hashtag unreliable.
That's our most recent TBR jar pick. I feel like we should just pick a month and just do all the ones we're behind on.
We could probably do that.
Yeah. But yeah, so that's this video for you guys. All the stuff we mentioned will be in the place with things and stuff. And have a great day.
Bye.